Toyota Supra. The Toyota Supra is more than just a car, it is a legend that has transcended decades, borders, and automotive cultures, becoming an icon that enthusiasts around the globe speak about with a mixture of respect, admiration, and awe. To understand the Supra's significance, we have to travel back to the late 1970s and early 1980s, when Toyota was building its reputation as a manufacturer of reliable, well-engineered, and affordable vehicles. The Supra's origins actually trace back to the Toyota Celica, a sporty coupe introduced in the 1970s. In 1978, Toyota decided to create a more powerful, grand touring version of the Celica, with a longer wheelbase and a six-cylinder engine. This was the birth of the Toyota Celica Supra, also known as the A40 series. It was a car aimed to compete with the likes of the Nissan Z cars, offering more refinement and comfort while still delivering engaging performance. The first-generation Supra, though not yet the monster we think of today, laid the groundwork. Powered by inline-six engines derived from the Toyota Crown, it offered a blend of smoothness and performance that was unusual for a Japanese sports coupe at the time. Its styling was largely similar to the Celica liftback but with subtle differences such as a longer nose to accommodate the larger engine. In markets like North America, it featured equipment such as cruise control, optional leather seats, and an impressive array of gauges, signaling that this was a car meant for long-distance comfort as much as spirited driving. The Supra name began to establish itself, but it was still very much in the shadow of its sibling, the Celica. In 1981, the second generation arrived, known internally as the A60 series. This was where the Supra started to develop its own distinct identity. Toyota separated the Supra more from the Celica in styling, giving it a more aggressive front fascia, pop-up headlights, and flared wheel arches. Under the hood, the straight-six engines gained fuel injection and more power, with some markets getting turbocharged versions later in the generation. The suspension was tuned more for performance, and Toyota worked hard to position the Supra as a competitor not just to Japanese rivals but to European sports coupes like the BMW 6 Series and Porsche 944. The Supra began making appearances in motorsport, proving its abilities in endurance racing and touring car competitions. It was still a comfortable GT, but now with sharper handling and a bolder personality. The big leap came in 1986 when Toyota unveiled the third generation, the A70 Supra. This was the moment when the Supra officially split from the Celica nameplate entirely and became its own standalone model. The A70 featured a completely new design, with a wider, lower stance, smooth aerodynamic lines, and a more sophisticated suspension setup with double wishbones on all four corners. Toyota offered a variety of engines, including the naturally aspirated 3.0-liter inline-six and the turbocharged 7M GTE, which produced serious power for its time. The turbocharged version in particular transformed the Supra into a genuine high-performance machine, capable of challenging the best from Europe and America. It offered advanced technology like electronically adjustable suspension, anti-lock brakes, and even a removable targa top in certain models for open-air driving. The interior was driver-focused, with a wraparound dashboard and ergonomically placed controls, showing that Toyota was thinking about the driving experience as much as the mechanical performance. Despite its performance credentials, the third-gen Supra was also known for being a bit heavy, and while it was respected, it wasn't yet the global legend it would become. That status was secured with the arrival of the fourth generation, the A80 Supra, in 1993. The A80 changed everything. It was lighter than its predecessor thanks to Toyota's use of lightweight materials like aluminum for the hood, targa top, and suspension components. Its styling was a radical departure from the boxy A70, with flowing curves, a wide stance, and a distinctive rear wing that would become an icon in its own right. Under the hood, the A80 offered the legendary 2JZ GTE engine, a 3.0-liter twin-turbocharged inline-six that would become one of the most celebrated engines in automotive history. With 276 horsepower in Japan and officially 320 horsepower in the US, the Supra Turbo could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 5 seconds, a stunning figure for the time. What made the 2JZ GTE so special was not just its power but its durability and tuning potential. Built with a cast-iron block, forged internals, and a robust design, it could handle enormous amounts of boost without failure. This made it a darling of the tuning community, where Supras with 800, 1000, or even more horsepower became commonplace. The car's performance in stock form was already impressive, but in the hands of enthusiasts, it became a supercar slayer. The A80 Supra also gained fame through motorsport, with success in drag racing, time attack events, and touring car championships. Its dominance in the tuning scene was amplified in the early 2000s thanks to its starring role in the Fast and Furious movie franchise, where Brian O'Connor's orange Supra became a symbol of speed culture worldwide. Unfortunately, despite its brilliance, the A80 was a victim of changing market conditions. By the late 1990s, sports car sales were declining, emissions and safety regulations were becoming stricter, and Toyota shifted its focus toward more mainstream models. In 2002, production of the Supra ended, and for many years it seemed like the legend would remain in the past. But the Supra's legacy only grew during its absence. Used prices remained strong, and the car became a collectible. The tuning community continued to push the limits of the 2JZ engine, and the Supra's appearances in video games, movies, and car culture media kept it alive in the public consciousness. Then, in 2019, Toyota shocked the automotive world by bringing the Supra back. The fifth generation, known as the A90 or GR Supra, was developed in collaboration with BMW, sharing its platform and powertrain with the BMW Z4. This was a controversial move, with some purists lamenting that the new Supra was not a purely Toyota creation. However, Toyota engineers tuned the car's suspension, steering, and performance characteristics to deliver a distinct personality. The A90 Supra features a turbocharged 3.0-liter inline-six, known as the B58, producing around 335 horsepower at launch and later increased to 382 horsepower in updated models. It offers blistering acceleration, sharp handling, and a modern, aggressive design that nods to the A80 with its double bubble roof and curvaceous bodywork. The interior is driver-centric, with supportive seats, modern infotainment, and high-quality materials. The GR Supra also comes in a 2.0-liter turbo four-cylinder variant in some markets, offering a lighter, slightly less expensive entry point into the Supra lineup. While it may not have the same raw charm as the 2JZ-powered A80, the A90 Supra has won over many enthusiasts with its balance, agility, and performance. Toyota has even introduced a 6-speed manual transmission option for those who crave a more connected driving experience, showing that they are listening to the enthusiast community. Today, the Supra remains a car that sparks emotion and debate. The A80 has achieved near-mythical status, with clean examples fetching astronomical prices at auctions. The 2JZ engine is revered as one of the greatest ever built, and the car's pop culture presence ensures that even people who aren't car enthusiasts recognize its name. The A90, meanwhile, carries the torch into the modern era, proving that the Supra still has a place in the world of high-performance sports cars. Over the decades, the Supra has represented many things: a comfortable grand tourer, a competitive motorsport machine, a tuner's dream, a Hollywood star, and a modern performance coupe. Its story is one of evolution, resilience, and passion. It has survived market shifts, corporate decisions, and changing trends, emerging each time with a new identity while retaining the core spirit that makes a Supra. Whether you love it for the bulletproof engineering of the 2JZ, the sleek design of the A80, the motorsport heritage of the earlier generations, or the sharp dynamics of the A90, there's no denying that the Supra is one of the most significant sports cars ever made. It's a reminder that cars are not just machines. They're symbols, experiences, and dreams brought to life in steel, aluminum, and gasoline. The Toyota Supra's journey from a Celica derivative to a world-famous icon is a testament to Toyota's ability to blend reliability with performance, engineering with emotion, and heritage with innovation. Its legacy is secure, but its story is far from over, as each new generation of drivers discovers the thrill of experiencing a Supra for the first time and understanding why. For decades, this car has captured the hearts of enthusiasts all over the globe. The Toyota Supra is more than a car, more than a name, and more than an engineering project from one of the world's most respected automakers. It is an icon, a legend that has traveled across generations, continents, and cultures to become one of the most recognized and celebrated sports cars on the planet. The Supra is a car that blends speed, style, technology, and emotional appeal in a way that very few vehicles have managed to achieve. Its story begins decades ago, in an era when Toyota was known primarily for building small, practical, and dependable vehicles. Back in the 1970s, Toyota's lineup was full of economy cars and reliable sedans, but the company wanted something that would capture the excitement of driving enthusiasts while showing that Japanese manufacturers could compete on the world stage in sports car engineering. The foundation for the Supra came from the Toyota Celica, a small and stylish coupe that had been introduced in the early 1970s. The Celica was already gaining popularity as a fun and affordable sports car alternative, but Toyota wanted a more powerful, more refined, and more performance-oriented model that could challenge the likes of Nissan's Z cars and even rival European GTs from BMW and Porsche. In 1978, Toyota unveiled the Celica Supra, the very first chapter in a long story that would eventually see the Supra become its own separate model. The first-generation Supra, known as the A40, was essentially a longer, wider Celica with an inline-six engine instead of a four-cylinder. That inline-six was key. It gave the Supra smoother power delivery, better torque, and a more refined feel on long journeys. It was offered with features that were quite advanced for its time, including available cruise control, optional leather upholstery, and a high level of standard equipment compared to many rivals. It wasn't a hardcore sports car yet. It was more of a sporty grand tourer, but it laid down a blueprint, a front-engine, rear-wheel drive coupe with a smooth and powerful straight six. The car was well received, but Toyota knew it could push further. By 1981, the second-generation A60 Supra was introduced, and with it came a new identity. While it still shared some underpinnings with the Celica, the A60 was given a sharper, more aggressive design. Pop-up headlights, flared fenders, and a wedge-shaped body gave it a distinctly 1980s sports car appearance. Under the hood, Toyota offered engines with more power, including a turbocharged variant in some markets. Handling improved thanks to better suspension tuning, and the Supra began to prove itself in motorsport. Toyota campaigned the A60 in various racing series, building credibility among enthusiasts. By now, the Supra was becoming known not just as a reliable and comfortable GT, but as a legitimate performance machine capable of challenging respected competitors. However, the real turning point came in 1986. The third-generation Supra, known as the A70, broke away from the Celica entirely. The Celica moved to a front-wheel drive layout, but the Supra stayed true to its rear-wheel drive roots. This separation allowed Toyota to design the A70 as a pure sports GT from the ground up. It was wider, lower, and more aerodynamic than before, with smooth body lines and a more modern look. Under the hood, Toyota offered a range of powerful inline-six engines, culminating in the turbocharged 7M GTE, which produced serious performance numbers for its time. The A70 featured advanced technology like electronically adjustable suspension, four-wheel disc brakes, and available anti-lock braking. It could be had with a Targa roof for open-air driving, and the interior was driver-focused, with a wraparound dashboard and ergonomic controls. It was heavier than some rivals, but it made up for that with a smooth ride, long-distance comfort, and robust build quality. The A70 Supra gained a loyal following, but it was the fourth generation that would cement the car's place in history. In 1993, Toyota launched the A80 Supra, and the automotive world took notice. The A80 was a radical departure in terms of styling, performance, and philosophy. Toyota engineers shaved weight compared to the A70 by using aluminum for the hood, front crossmember, and suspension components, and even hollowed out carpet fibers to save grams. The design was curvaceous, muscular, and aerodynamic, with large round headlights and a rear wing that became instantly iconic. But the heart of the A80 was its engine, the 3.0-liter 2JZ GTE inline-six, twin-turbocharged to produce officially 276 horsepower in Japan due to the Gentleman's Agreement and 320 horsepower in the US. The truth was that the 2JZ GTE was massively underrated in potential. Built with a cast-iron block, forged internals, and an over-engineered design, it could handle more than double, even triple, its stock power output without internal modifications. This made it a tuner's dream. Enthusiasts quickly discovered that with a bigger turbo setup, stronger fuel system, and upgraded electronics, the Supra could produce 800, 1000, even 1500 horsepower and still remain reliable. This put it in a different league entirely from most sports cars of its time. The A80 Supra's performance was world-class. The turbo model could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 5 seconds and run the quarter mile in the low 13-second range in stock form. Its handling was balanced and precise, thanks to a sophisticated suspension and near-perfect weight distribution. Braking performance was excellent as well, with large discs and available 4-piston calipers. Toyota offered the Supra with a 6-speed Getrag manual transmission or a 4-speed automatic, but the manual turbo models are the ones that enthusiasts cherish most today. The A80 made its mark in motorsport, but its true explosion into global pop culture came in the early 2000s. The release of the first Fast and Furious movie in 2001 featured an orange A80 Supra built by the character Brian O'Connor. That movie turned the Supra into a star. It became a symbol of the tuning scene, the import performance movement, and the thrill of street racing culture. Video games like Gran Turismo and Need for Speed further cemented the Supra's status as a dream car for an entire generation of enthusiasts. Despite its cult following, the A80 faced challenges in the late 1990s. Sports car sales were declining worldwide, stricter emissions and safety regulations were raising costs, and Toyota's focus was shifting toward more profitable mainstream models. In 1998, Toyota pulled the Supra from the US market, and by 2002, production ended entirely. For nearly 2 decades, the Supra existed only in memories, movie screens, and video games. But something interesting happened. Instead of fading away, the Supra's legend grew stronger. Clean, low-mileage A80 Supras began fetching increasingly high prices on the used market, and the 2JZ engine became one of the most respected powerplants in automotive history. Tuners continued to build wild high-horsepower Supras, setting records at drag strips and in roll racing events. The Supra became a symbol of Japanese performance engineering at its finest. Then, in 2019, after years of rumors and speculation, Toyota revived the Supra name with the 5th generation A90, also known as the GR Supra. This time, Toyota partnered with BMW to co-develop the car, sharing its platform and powertrain with the BMW Z4. This move sparked controversy. Some enthusiasts felt the Supra should be a pure Toyota creation with a Toyota-built engine. However, Toyota's engineers emphasized that while the car was developed alongside BMW, it was tuned, refined, and tested extensively by Toyota's Gazoo Racing division to deliver a distinct character. The A90 features a turbocharged 3.0-liter inline-6 producing 335 horsepower at launch, later increased to 382 horsepower in the US, and even more in special editions. It delivers rapid acceleration, with 0 to 60 mph times around 3.9 seconds, and handles with precision thanks to a stiff chassis, adaptive suspension, and a low center of gravity. The GR Supra's styling nods to the A80 with its double bubble roof, muscular rear haunches, and ducktail-style integrated rear spoiler. Inside, it blends BMW-sourced technology with Toyota's own design touches. A more affordable 2.0-liter turbo 4-cylinder version was also introduced in some markets, offering a lighter and more nimble feel. In 2022, Toyota responded to enthusiast demand by adding a 6-speed manual transmission option for the 3.0-liter model, further enhancing its driver engagement. The GR Supra has proven itself on road courses, in drift competitions, and as a platform for tuners to extract serious performance. Today, the Toyota Supra's story is one of endurance, evolution, and passion. The A80 remains a collector's dream, with pristine examples selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. The A90 continues to build its own legacy, attracting a new generation of fans while keeping the Supra name alive in motorsport and performance culture. Through all its generations, the Supra has retained its core DNA, a front-engine, rear-wheel drive layout, a strong inline-6 at its heart, and a blend of everyday usability with the ability to thrill when pushed to its limits. It's a car that proves Toyota can build machines that stir the soul as much as they impress on paper. Whether you admire it for its engineering, its movie star status, its tuning potential, or simply the way it makes you feel behind the wheel, the Toyota Supra stands as one of the greatest sports cars ever built, and its legend is sure to inspire for decades to come. Special thanks